Well, students, good evening to all of you. So, guys, today we will discuss M.Ed semester second paper one, right? The name of paper is Philosophical Foundations of Education. Okay, dear students, so today we are discussing the paper one, Philosophical Foundations of Education, M.Ed semester two, right? So, this all the notes you will get on my channel, on my WhatsApp. So I have already taken the classes, okay, and then rest we will directly discuss from the notes, okay. So this is the syllabus. First, see the syllabus, right? 100 marks, 70 marks questions would come. The name of the paper is Philosophical Foundations of Education. Philosophical Foundations of Education. Philosophical Foundations of Educations. Foundations of Educations, right? So before going this now, I want to show you the last year paper also, right? So this is the last year paper. See that, what type of a question has come in your paper one. So this is a 70 marks paper, last year paper. First section is a compulsory, that, right? And total, 5 sections would come, right? Every section carries the 14 marks. First section is compulsory. 4 questions would come. It contains 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, and 3.5. Okay. So you can see that, 4 question has come. Functions of educational philosophy, 4 noble truth according to Buddhism, educational thought of Aurobindo, main features of realism, right? And under unit 1, 2 questions would come. You have to do 1. The question has come, what do you understand by educational philosophy? Bring out the relationship between philosophy and education. Okay. So this all we will do in today's my notes. Okay. Next, what do you understand by the nature of knowledge? Critically comment upon knowledge getting process. Unit 2 में again 2 questions came. You have to attempt 1. One is question has come on Sankhya philosophy. Describe its educational implications. So guys, please, देखो, आप just see that. Questions. What is Sankhya? Describe its educational implications in detail. Now you remember in my lecture, many times I have told you, na, when I took your lecture on, idealism, pragmatism, naturalism. Okay. So on that time, if you remember, I told you the meaning of educational implication means you have to define the aims of education, method of teaching, and curriculum. You remember now, right? So this is the meaning of that, right? And next, see the question 5th. Discuss the nature of reality, knowledge, values, goals of education according to Vedanta school of a Indian philosophy. Right? Reality क्या चीज है? What is reality? Metaphysics. Knowledge क्या चीज है? Epistemology. Values, axiology. You got the point now? So all the isms, okay, you have done from that way. Anand, you are remembering that. What we do that? The first major facts, under the major facts, we did metaphysics, epistemology, and axiology. Right? Now see the question. Examiner has molded the question, nothing else. The question is same. In the answer of a 5th question, you have to talk about Vedanta school of philosophy, what the Vedanta says, or basically you have to talk about metaphysics according to Vedanta, epistemology according to Vedanta school of thought, and axiology according to Vedanta school of thought. Got the point? Only, this note is left, unit 2. This is called Indian school of philosophy, right? But today, rest of the part we are discussing from my notes, okay, which I have already given to you. See the question number, unit 3rd. Under the unit 3rd, the last year paper question has come. what do you understand by naturalism? Describe the educational implications of a naturalism for aim, content and methods of teaching. ठीक है ना, ये सिंपली इसने डाल दिया, because okay, the questions can come from other view, that what do you understand by naturalism? Describe its educational implication. And so what is the meaning of educational implications? Aims of educations, content and method of teaching. Okay, you got it, huh? Seventh is ये देखो, define pragmatism. Discuss its importance in the field of education. So what you have to write here? You have to write pragmatism, what the pragmatism says, one or two definitions of a pragmatism. Then what you will write? Importance in the field of education. Importance of pragmatism you don't have to write. Are you getting my point? You don't have to write importance of pragmatism. What you have to write? Importance of pragmatism in the field of education. It means you have to talk aims of education according to pragmatism. You have to detail, you have to write in detail curriculum according to pragmatism, and you have to write methods of teaching according to pragmatism. Got it now? So this thing is very much important. Okay, many times I have discussed in my lecture. Okay, don't writing importance of pragmatism. You have to write each and everything with respect to educational implications or metaphysics, epistemology and axiology. Right guys? Last देखो आप, just see the unit 4. Highlight the contribution of Gandhiji thought to the development of education in India. So here you have to talk about Gandhiji educational philosophy. You don't have to write about life sketch of Gandhiji. Getting my point? Life history of Gandhiji you don't have to write. What you have to write? Gandhiji philosophy on education. Okay, I'll give you the notes, don't worry. Okay, last देखो, what is logical empiricism? Discuss its educational implication in detail. और कुछ भी नहीं है इस पेपर में. Two things you have to remember, right? देखो, orally ना you should know the syllabus, guys. You are the M.Ed second semester student. At least you should know the syllabus orally. There are 4 sections in your, paper 1, philosophical foundations of education. And in unit 1, you have the educational philosophy, knowledge, meaning concept of the knowledge. In the second unit, you have the Indian school of philosophy. Under the Indian school of philosophy, you have the Vedanta, you have the Sankhya and Islamic tradition. Third unit may you have the Western school of philosophy. Under the Western school of philosophy, you have idealism, naturalism, pragmatism, realism and existentialism. And in the unit 4, you have the 4 thinkers: Gandhiji, Aurobindo, Mahatma Gandhi, Aurobindo. Okay, एक दो और थे, ठीक है, उसको लर्न कर लो यहाँ से. स्वामी विवेकानंद, right? And one is Rabindranath Tagore. ये 4 thinker थे. So the first thing is that I advise to all of you, before my next lecture, you should learn the syllabus of paper 1 at least. Okay, before going into the question and answer directly from my notes, first of all, syllabus should be clear to all of you. Okay, I can ask from anyone, right? So ये paper था, this paper I have also shared with you. Okay, so almost all the questions you will get in my notes. So this is my notes which we are going to discuss today, right? From this point, right? But only this one Indian school of philosophy notes is left. So I will give you before starting my next class. Okay, otherwise all the questions I have given to you. Okay, so paper 1 is clear to all of you, right? In the next class we will discuss second and third paper, and we'll provide you the notes beforehand, don't worry. So guys, what is a philosophy? So I'm starting the whole paper from starting. Okay, philosophy basically it is derived from the 2 word. मुझे तो orally याद है सारा. Okay, I'm discussing for your easiness, है ना? because whatever you are listening, you will learn from my notes. Okay, so I will go swiftly by telling what is the idea behind it. You have to learn it, right? So philosophy is derived from the two words. One is love and one is philos and sophia. The meaning of philos is love and meaning of sophia is wisdom. So meaning of philosophy is love of wisdom. Okay. Bertrand Russell क्या बोलते हैं? Philosophy, like all other studies, aims primarily at knowledge. Right? Philosophy. What is the meaning of a philosophy? Philosophy means getting the knowledge. Philosophy means, philosophy appetite for the knowledge. All of the knowledge, gained by the philosophy. And who is a philosopher? Plato has said, a philosopher is one. See this definition. Ye dekho. I'm highlighting which same thing I'm discussing with you. Okay. So you will come to know. You have the notes now. You can underline it. Okay. Later on, you can watch my video by keeping the notes in front of you and you can underline that, right? So what Plato has said regarding the philosopher, Plato has said a philosopher is one who has a taste of every sort of knowledge, who is curious to learn more and never satisfied is termed as philosopher. Who is philosopher? He is a person having every sort of knowledge, all the knowledge he has, every knowledge he has got, whatever the knowledge exists in the world, he has got, but curious to learn more. Abhi bhi still, he is curious to learn more and never satisfied is termed as philosopher, said by the Plato. You can write it, guys. You can fit these definitions anywhere in your paper. You will get a very good marks. Characteristics of a philosophy kya hota hai? What is the characteristics of a philosophy? Philosophy is a systematic inquiry about ultimate reality of the universe. Right? So what is a reality, in the universe? Universe is a mystery. So what is a reality? You will get the answer under the philosophy. You will get the answer under the sub branches of philosophy. What are the sub branches? Metaphysics, epistemology, and axiology. Right? So this is the nature and characteristics of philosophy, basically, right? What is the need of a philosophy? Okay, the important question arises, need of a philosophy. So here, if you can remember the definitions of a René Descartes, you must learn, guys. What the René Descartes has said. René Descartes has said, it is not enough to have a good mind. It is not enough to have a good mind. The main thing is that use it well, right? If you have a good mind, you are thinking, but you have to use it well so that other person would say, okay, you are a very good person. So it is not enough to have a good mind. The main thing is to use it well. So why these are necessary for the, B.Ed or M.Ed student? Because you are the teacher. You are going to become a principal, right? You are the nation builder. You are the torch bearer to the society. Okay. You never uh, create the problem. You should be ready to solve the problem, right, guys? You never say to yourself, your students and your surroundings, okay, I have this problem, I have this problem. If the teacher would start saying this, so from where we will get the answer, right? So in the, Veds, when you will see, so over there, they are saying that teacher is a real image of Brahma, right? So itna upar sthan diya hai teacher ko. So what is the need of a philosophy? Basically, to think, speak, and write clearly and critically, to communicate effectively, right? To develop reasoned arguments of a one's view, to appreciate views from the different from one's own. So guys, you are going to become a teacher and principal. If the other person is saying it is not saying according to you, you should also respect the views of a other person. Okay. So Now we discuss what are the scope, areas, kinds, and divisions, branches of philosophy. So this thing you have to remember. That's why I have written everything, even scope of philosophy, even areas of philosophy, even kinds of philosophy, vision of philosophy, branches of philosophy. So answer would be in the three word. What are the three word? Metaphysics, epistemology, theology. Got it? Iniko, these are called the branches, areas, kinds, divisions of philosophy. So metaphysics, what the metaphysics does? Metaphysics talks about theory of reality. What is God? From where we have come? Where we have to go? Does God exist? What is time? So these all questions you will get the answer under the metaphysics. This is a one branch of philosophy. Epistemology talk about the theory of knowledge. From where we get the knowledge? We get the knowledge from our senses. Is it true or not? What is truth? What is truth? Basically, truth is a different, every person, you give one book to, 10 person. Okay. The 10 person would explain the book in their own way. So what is the truth basically? Right. So these are all questions you will get answer under the epistemology. Epistemology means theory of knowledge. From where we get the knowledge, from where, what are the sources of knowledge, from where the knowledge comes. Knowledge comes from the books, knowledge comes from the surroundings, knowledge comes from the intuition. From where the knowledge comes and what is the ultimate knowledge? We get the answer under the epistemology. Axiology, theory of values. From where we get the values? Truth, beauty, goodness. These are the values. You are aware of that. So guys, the question is that whether these values, baby born, when the baby born, he comes up with these values or we have to create the values. So what is actually, source of values? Values are either values are eternal or we can create the values. So these answer, you get the right answer under the third branch of a philosophy, which is a axiology. Okay. And now what is education? Education, you know that, huh? Already we have discussed. So today we are discussing all the notes, right? So that next class may I will listen from all of you. Okay. Because your exams are so near, right? So meaning of education means, guys, education is as old as the human race. It is never ending process of one's inner growth and development. Education starts from the cradle and ends in a grave. In fact, our whole life is an education because we learn every moment, right? Education is a lifelong process. It is a never ending process, right? So Rig Veda is said, education is something which makes a man self-reliant and selfless, right? So these are the nature of education's lifelong process, bipolar process, tripolar process, right? These all now we are already done, huh? So that's why I'm going swiftly, okay? Because we are discussing directly from the notes. Actually, why we learned the education and philosophy? Because our third question, third subheading is, what is the relationship between education and philosophy? This is the most important. Every time questions come short answer. अभी भी आया था last questions में. What is the relationship between education and philosophy? You must know. You are going to become teacher and principal. Tell me. That's why now you are doing M.Ed. What is the meaning of, difference, relationship between education and philosophy? Tell me. So next time I will ask, okay, you should know. Education, basically, it is a practical side. Even the James Ross has said, education and philosophy is the two sides of the same coin. One is implemented by other. So whatever the philosophy we have in the mind, education is the practical side of that theory, that philosophy, right? So with the help of a education, we implement that theory. Okay. So education is the practical side and philosophy is the theory side. Okay. So when anyone asks now, education is a theory or practical, or philosophy is a theory or practical, your answer would be philosophy is a theory. Philosophy is a theoretical concept. Philosophy is theory which we develop in the mind, and with the help of education, we implement those thoughts. Got it? तो ये सारा का सारा आप पढ़ लेना इसमें से, ठीक है guys? तो मैं I have cleared, the basic concept in front of you. Okay? So next is ये relation सारा आ गया. Okay? So guys, you are coming very late in the class actually, na, right? Relationship between education and philosophy, right? Yes, this is all relationship and philosophy, है ना? I have discussed with you. Okay, you can see my video along with the notes. You will learn within 2-3 hours. Okay, this all whole of the first paper. Don't worry, I will make the things easy for to all of you. Okay, who is watching my video? Okay, next is a philosophy of education and educational philosophy. This is the unit 1. Okay, so what is a philosophy of education? The thing is, yahan se you will get the answer. When philosophy is drawn out from the educational practices or institutions called the philosophy of education, right? So there are different philosophies like idealism, pragmatism, naturalism. These are all the philosophies. Okay, so when we interpret these all things in terms of education, okay, one answer is also this: philosophy of education is the philosophical interpretations of education, right? Or when philosophy is drawn out from the educational institution, it is called the philosophy of education, right? So ये functions of philosophy हैं: philosophy of education, determining the aims of education, harmonizing old and new traditions, providing the educational planners, preparing the young generations to face the challenges of the modern time. Now, what is the scope of philosophy of education? Right? This question, it always comes in the short note. Okay, so you can skip this part also. There is no need to go into the in detail scope of philosophy of education. Okay, so here I advise you, to all of you, in my chapter 2 you learn philosophy of education and educational philosophy. Okay, because in a syllabus it is only one line. Okay, and I never saw that it long question comes. Okay, 2-3 questions can come combined. What is the philosophy and education, right? What is the relationship between educational and philosophy? Then you can write in detail. Okay, guys. So you learn philosophy of education and nature or scope bhi aap kar lo if you can do. Okay, function and scope, right? Okay, next aa gaya epistemology and education. It is talking about basically knowledge. In your syllabus, now knowledge is given, right? So knowledge, from where we get the knowledge, what is the origin of knowledge, nature and structure of a knowledge, theories of a knowledge, we get the answer under the epistemology. Yes. Now, what is the relationship between epistemology and education? Right? Now, try to understand. These are two words. One is epistemology and one is education. So basically, all education ultimate culminates in the realization of a values or ideas expressed in the educational objective, right? Basically the meaning of education is that ultimate, right? Realization of values, and now through the education we get civilized, we get cultured. Okay, this is the meaning of education. Okay, basically realizations of the values and ideas, and the study of epistemology help in answering the following questions in a fruitful manner. Basically, what are the goals of education? What should be content of education or curriculum? How is content justified and validated? So this answer is given by the epistemology, right? So ये relations आप इसमें से देख लेना. Okay. अब nature and characteristics of a knowledge. So this is the characteristics of a knowledge, right? Knowledge क्या चीज है? Knowledge is that which is based on known fact, have the logic. Knowledge is definite. Knowledge is information, right? So you should know that. Okay, what is the knowledge? What is the information, right? How the knowledge becomes the power? Knowledge is not power. Knowledge only becomes the power once you implement it. Right, guys? Once you implement it. Right? So, knowledge is learning, right? Yeah, these all things are written. Okay, now types of knowledge. Yeah, this is important. Okay, note that this is important. So, there are two types of knowledge. One is priori knowledge, one is posteriori knowledge. Right? Priori knowledge is also called the rational knowledge. The literally meaning of a priori is from before or from earlier. A priori is that knowledge that is attained independent of experience. It exists in the mind. Okay, I have taken the lecture actually now in details. You know that. Okay, in the lecture you can see about the knowledge and types of a knowledge. Okay, but here we are discussing the notes, so that's why now only the main points I am discussing. Okay, so detail up you can learn, but I clear to all of you the first knowledge, a priori knowledge. Basically, it is independent from the senses. It exists in the mind. Okay, mind is a gateway of the knowledge under the priori knowledge, you can say, right? And posteriori knowledge kaun si hoti hai? This is the knowledge that need evidences, that need proof. This is a posteriori knowledge, right? Science, whatever we do the experiment of a science, we have the evidence now. We have the evidence. That's why it is called the posteriori knowledge. But some knowledge exists in the you know in the inner self, in the mind, intuition, है ना? So this is called the priori knowledge. Okay, you can't ignore it. Okay, one is a scientific knowledge having the evidences. This is called posteriori knowledge, and one knowledge is from the inside. Okay, for example, Gautam Buddha, he got the this knowledge, and later on he became the Buddha, Mahatma Buddha. Huh? Siddharth, I think Siddharth, not the God, right? So many you have seen that now Guru Nanak Sahib, okay, he got this knowledge, and later on he became the Guru Nanak, right? Jesus also, right? In the later on, right? In the late stages, okay. I think if I have also read, in the later stage, I think then he uh, disseminated that knowledge to all the disciples. The last I think 3 or 4 years, okay, when he enlightened. So enlightened is the exact word. So this is a priority knowledge, first knowledge. Okay. ये है, this is a ये देखो method of acquiring knowledge with special reference to logical analysis, positive relativism and logical empiricism. So ये three things ना I'm giving you as a assignment. Okay. In the next class, these three things you have to learn. The number is 3.5. Okay. Then we'll discuss. And rest is Indian School of a Philosophy. I know that Vedanta, Buddhism, and one more, I think Islamic traditions. Okay. We'll discuss. So then we'll cover a whole paper. So this thing you have to do. Okay. You can note that 3.5. Right? Method of acquiring knowledge with special reference to logical analysis, positive relativism, and logical empiricism. Right? So I directly come on the chapter number 4, which is Western School of Philosophy, starting from the idealism. Chapter 5. From the idealism. ये देखो unit 3 has started, Western School of Philosophy. Okay. So under Western School of a Philosophy, first of all, you should orally know that the isms are idealism, pragmatism, naturalism, existentialism, and realism. 5 isms हैं आपके. Okay. So first now what you do, देखो, I tell you one thing. Okay, see guys, let me open the paper. I tell you, one thing. So that now, because it would be easy for you, because when the date sheet would come, and on that time, you would start. So it is better start from today, because only 15-20 days are left, right? What you have to do, see these syllabus. This is the question and this is the syllabus. It is page number 27. What actually I want to tell you. This is the unit 3. Okay. So under the unit 3 is, there are, 5 isms. Okay. See the unit 4. Under the unit 4, chapter 7, it is talking about contributions of Indian thinkers. Okay. So guys, if you do these all the 4, right? So your long answer would be covered, because in every unit there are 2 questions would come. You have to learn only one. So my purpose is that in the unit 1, either one questions would come from educational philosophy, one questions would come from knowledge. So at least first of all, you do your first question, at least long question. Okay. So I recommend do the educational philosophy to all of you, right? So unit 2 mein, I'll do the Vedanta, Sankhya, right? And Buddhism. Okay. You can leave one, right? So similarly, under the Western school of philosophy, do the realism, naturalism, pragmatism, and existentialism. Right? From that way, you cover your actually first questions. I just want to say that, right? So now we were on the page number 27, idealism. Page number 27, idealism. Okay, I have taken the lecture. Okay, so I will not go into the detail. Already, guys, I have prepared the lecture, which I have already discussed with you from these notes. Okay, because orally I have already made the notes. Okay, made by, my side. Yeah, sari cheezein you will get it. Plato theories of ideas. If you remember, I talk about 2 types of ideas given by the Plato. Kahan gaye 2 types of idea? Ye raha, ye dekho. Universal ideas and ideas of everyday experience. Right? Under my, idealism topic, I have explained that but there are 2 types of idea given by the Plato, right? Under the idealism, what the idealism is, idealism talks about the ideas, thoughts. It talks about the, it says that, there are 2 types of ideas by the Plato, who is a founder of idealism. And under these 2 ideas, universal ideas are more real than ideas of everyday experience. Universal ideas are more real than ideas of everyday experience. Okay. So ye René Descartes ki definition. Okay. René Descartes has said, I think, therefore I am. Right. So these are the fundamental principles of idealism. Right. There are 2 types of a word. One is a spiritual word and one is a materialistic word. But spiritual word is more real than the, materialistic word given by the idealism. Idealism gives priority to the spiritual word. Okay. Idealism talks about the ideas. Ideas are real. And idea exists in the mind. Mind is the gateway of the knowledge. Basically, under the idealism, you have to learn. Okay. ऐसे learn कर लो. Under the idealism, mind is the gateway of the knowledge. Right? So when we talk about pragmatism, pragmatism means reality. They talk about action. They don't talk about the idea. ये देखो, under, guys, there are 3 major postulates, right? Epistemology, metaphysics, epistemology, or axiology. Okay, you have to talk about metaphysics according to idealism. ये देखो, this is all metaphysics, right? This is a epistemology according to idealism. And this is a axiology according to idealism. Then educational implications में you have to do 3 things. Aims of education, curriculum, and method of teaching. Okay, matlab you can see my idealism topic. The same I have explained thoroughly, right? And same I'm giving you the notes today. ये देखो, idealism, aims of education. याद होगा आपको self realization first. If you remember, self realization is the first aim of education. And when I was taking the class of a naturalism, what was the first aim of education? Self expression. Okay, remember na, right? ये देखो, spiritual development, character formations, preparations for holy life, development of internal values. And idealism and curriculum, if you remember in my lecture, I told you idealism talks about humanities subject as well as science subject, but idealism gives more priority to the humanities subject, right? ये देखो, सारा answer you will get it, right? ये method of teaching, ये सारी method of teaching. Okay. So next, pragmatism. So same under the pragmatism, you have to talk pragmatism. Who is the father of a pragmatism? Charles Sanders Peirce, right? This is a new philosophy, 19th century philosophy, 20th century philosophy, right? So given by the American philosopher Charles Peirce. Okay, you remember this name. Okay, so what the pragmatism says that Charles Peirce says that he wrote the book in 1874, and he wrote that how you have to make your ideas more clear. And he said that put your idea into the action. Action will tell you whether your idea is worthy of acceptance or rejection. Naturally, okay, whenever we do any action, so the result will tell us whether our action is accepted or rejected. Matlab, it is a benefit for us or not. Got it? According to the philosophy of the pragmatism, right? So John Dewey, यहाँ पे नाम याद रखना आपने सभी ने. This is a big name. You have to remember John Dewey. Dewey भी बोलते हैं इसको, John Dewey, right? Pronounce, you can pronounce as you in your way, John Dewey or John Dewey, right? So actually he has given a very wonderful, aims of education under the pragmatism, right? He wrote a book. In his book, he wrote a book. The name is Education is Life, Education is Experience, right? So ye fundamental principles of pragmatism. You can say that. The main principle of a pragmatism is that nothing is fixed, as said by the idealism. Okay, nothing is fixed and final in this world, and there is no ultimate reality. Aap dekho, idealism talks, emphasis that there is a ultimate reality, but pragmatism says that there is no ultimate reality. Anna, just opposite. Okay, so pragmatism believes that, guys, you can see that na, important words na I have bolded for you. Ye dekho, important points I have bold for you, so that once you will take print out, na, you will come to know that this is the important, right? So this, hard work I have done for you. Pragmatism lays a special stress on the values or experimentation. So ye bhi hum thoda sa, swiftly we go, because we have already discussed thoroughly about the pragmatism. Today we are discussing the nodes, right? So ye dekho, pragmatism and major facts. Similarly, metaphysics, epistemology or axiology. You have to do the metaphysics according to pragmatism. Similarly, epistemology according to pragmatism, and axiology according to pragmatism. And when we talk about educational implications, ab dekho na, just what the examiner can do. This question has come na last year. Examiner can do, either he can put the question, define the pragmatism, write the educational implications of a pragmatism. Then guys, you must know, you have to talk about aims of education, curriculum and methods of teaching. If he talks, define pragmatism and write the reality, and write the aims, write the metaphysics, epistemology and axiology. So simply you have to talk about, metaphysics of pragmatism, then epistemology of pragmatism, then axiology of pragmatism. Okay, when he mold the question, he makes the questions and put in front of you, define pragmatism, define the reality, values and knowledge with respect to pragmatism. Again, you have to think that you have to talk about metaphysics, epistemology and axiology. Got it? So this is a very much important. Otherwise, okay, you can explain easily. So ये सारा pragmatism हो गया, right? Now we talk about the naturalism. Okay, the naturalism when comes in your mind, those guys, few words na you have to write. Even you can write that. Who was the father of naturalism? Jean-Jacques Rousseau, right? When the naturalism comes, you should have the name in your mind, Froebel, who gave the concept of LKG, MKG, UKG, right? And when the pragmatism comes in your mind, you should know about the Charles Sanders Peirce, John Dewey. Okay, under the pragmatism, one project method was given by the Kilpatrick, right? So this is a very good philosophy, guys. And anytime you can learn that, even the whole life, you can learn it, right? These philosophies. Actually, these philosophy makes you philosopher. Okay, the Rabindranath Tagore has said that teacher is a friend, philosopher and guide. Okay, so you have to become the friend, philosopher and guide. So ये देखो naturalism सारा, right? what are the acha naturalism to very, it is a very easy. Naturalism talks that everything has originated from the nature. Nothing is behind the nature or beyond the nature. Everything has originated from the nature, from the matter, right? Fundamental principles क्या है naturalism के? Universe is a huge machine. Man is also a part of that machine and completes the machine in himself. Okay. और ये यहाँ पे मैट्रिक्स की भी बात करते हैं. ये देखो, ये कहते हैं life comes out of a dead matter and is a sum total of a physical and chemical reactions. तो ये देखो again major postulates या facts of naturalism. Then you have to talk about metaphysics, epistemology or axiology of these all three. Right guys? ये देखो next आ गया aims of education. ये self expression. You always remember self expression is always should be the first point of the aims of education under the naturalism. और उधर से idealism में self realization, right? Methods of teaching, observation, experimental, play way method. तो ये method ये support करते थे. Existentialism आ गया. So when existentialism comes, so then you know name of a Kierkegaard, it should come in your mind. ठीक है? ये था, you know, it is originated from the 19th century philosophy, Danish Christian philosopher Soren Kierkegaard. So you know he gave this philosophy existentialism. So according to the Kierkegaard, each individual person is unique and inexplicable, which can't be explained in terms of any metaphysical or scientific system. It is then individual who thinks and he is free to make any choices in his life for the future. So kya ho gaya? What is existentialism? Existentialism means every person is free to make choices. Okay, or if there are 10%, so 10 persons having their own word, right? There is no fixed word. So then he has rejected the idealism, rejected the pragmatism, naturalism also, and he talks about existentialism. The individual is free to take any kind of action. So if there are 10 persons, so there are 10 words for them. How he thinks, how he make their reasoning and others, so they makes these things true for them. सात्रे भी नाम याद रखना है. According to the, अरे guys आप तो बहुत लेट आ रहे हो क्लास में, right? According to a सात्रे, man's existence precedes essence. It means man first of all exists, turns up, appears on the scene, and only afterwards defines himself. Means they give one word you have to learn in your mind. You will automatically learn existentialism. Existentialism means they give priority to the man, individual. They say that man first come in the scene, afterwards everything comes. Okay, similarly metaphysics, epistemology and axiology of existentialism, right guys? And aims of education, curriculum and method of teaching, okay, of existentialism. Okay, detailed now I have discussed with you, Hana, you know that. Okay, so that's why I'm discussing the notes. Okay, 50 pages we have discussed, right? Now last pages, short questions I have made. Okay, you also have to learn this. Okay, I just want to discuss with you, if you're doing these things now, these philosophy or isms now, so I think if you want to leave the guide now, you can leave it. Okay, because I have covered, I think everything, okay, from your syllabus, but only one part is left, right? Indian School of Philosophy. Okay, so any three functions of philosophy of education, you can learn it. This is the one. Concept of metaphysics, we have just discussed. Metaphysics, you can do that. Well, short questions can come. Okay, any three aims of a naturalism, was self-expression, child-centered education, you can define that. Right? Meaning of existentialism, just we have discussed. Right? Discuss Islamic traditions briefly. Okay, it comes under Indian School of Philosophy. So next we will discuss. Right? in the next class, we'll talk about, Indian School of Philosophy along with your paper 2 or 3. Okay. It might be in the next class, I will cover your paper 2 and 3. Right, guys? So that now you will get the time for study. So you should start the study from today, because in the next 15-20 days, your papers would come. And next, I think within a 5 days, 7 days, your date sheet would come. Okay. Any three principles of a Sankhya philosophy. So मैं आपको I will understand under the Indian School of a Philosophy this Sankhya, right, philosophy. So today, these 50 pages you have to learn. Okay. So I'm also making, your preparation also, right? No need to learn on that time. Now we can give some time beforehand, na, so that, we'll come to know. So, okay, guys, thank you so much for today's lecture. Okay. In the last, now we see our syllabus again. This is our syllabus. Okay. You can see that we have discussed all these three things. ये देखो मैंने इसको रेड कर दिया. Educational philosophy we have discussed, है ना, in my notes. Meaning, functions, relationship, है ना, one question we have done. And nature, sources, or acquiring knowledge, this also we are done in today's notes, है ना. This part is left. And under the unit 3rd, all the 5 philosophies we are discussed except realism. I know that only the realism is left and this one is left. Okay. But you can see that now, almost your whole paper have discussed. And these thinker also, ye to easy hai, I will give you along with this, right? And these 3 things also, right? So guys, you start learning. Thank you so much for the class, right? In the next class, we'll talk about, next our 1 or 2 papers along with what is left here. Okay. So thank you so much for this class. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much once again.